Everyone who is here, thank you so much for joining in. A lot of new faces this week, which is awesome, and a lot of people who have I've seen before as well, which is great too. So this is the 40K to 400K formula. Basically today, guys, we're just going to be going through a lot of the strategies we're using to help Aussie-based e-commerce brands to grow their businesses profitably. And there's just a couple things that I want to really just get kind of sorted before we jump into things. And first is going to be, this will be about 60 minutes or so. So try and put away about an hour if you can. If not, it's all good, guys. Like, you can catch the recording afterwards, and if you're coming in late too, no problem as well. This is, just how things are. That's fine. I see a lot of faces, which is lovely. Helps these things flow a lot better. So if you do have a webcam, please pop it on for us. And lastly, as you already have been, this is a pretty interactive session. So we are going to use the chat quite a bit. So we're going to ask you questions. You can just feel free to answer there. I already see that a bunch of you guys have been doing that already today. So I know that we're on board anyway. So a couple goals for today's session. Some things I want everybody to get out of this at the least is, one thing that we really, really focus on is helping people to turn browsers into buyers. And essentially what this means is, especially if you're new, what this really is talking about is conversion rate and conversion rate optimization. Simply, what a conversion rate is say 100 people land on your website, on your e-commerce website, and one purchases. That's a 1% conversion rate. So a big thing of focus for us is we try and get that number as high as possible, so we get as many customers out of the traffic that we do get. It's a big focus point for us. The second thing is going to be looking at some guys here, some people here might be running ads already, or maybe they're working with an agency and not quite seeing the results that you want for your products. And we're going to tackle why that might be happening and and how you can actually prepare your business for when you are ready to spend a bit of money on ads. And lastly, regardless of, obviously Paul mentioned that, we do this 24/7 in the e-commerce circle, and we'd love to have you all in there. But regardless of whether or not you do continue to get our support moving forward, we want you to all ideally just leave with a plan, so you know what you're doing for the next, say, 90 days in your business on how to grow it. So a couple of questions we usually get about this session when we bring it up is, sorry, we'll just get muting everybody, guys. So usually when we speak about this, people just want to know, will this session work for me? Is it worth my time? And it kind of breaks down to 3 sub-questions. And the first one usually is going to be, I have an interesting product, or it's kind of out there. Is it going to work in my niche, what we go through? And just to be really clear, guys, we work with so many different brands across so many different niches, and we do the same strategies for each of these niches. So yes, if you are in e-commerce, we can help you in this session, will be useful to you. Second one typically is, is this going to be useful at my size? So we do have a lot of people who come to these events who are just starting, they're on the e-commerce journey at the very start. They're just beginning it, maybe don't even have products. That's completely fine. And sometimes we have people here who are prepared to scale their business, and it's completely fine wherever you are on the spectrum, guys. So we do a lot of things, and we implement a lot of strategies for the brands that are scaling. And what we actually do is we teach those fundamentals to the people who are just starting. So no matter where you are, you will get a lot out of this session. And lastly, is it going to work now? Short answer is yes. Everything that we do is battle tested every single day. We have about 150 to 200 brands inside the e-commerce circle that we work with, and we actually prove these strategies with daily. So it is current now, and it will work for you if you are in e-commerce. And there's typically a few type of people that we really see the best kind of results out of, the people that we find the best are to work with. And the first one is someone that is passionate about wanting to do this. And this just means that you really understand your why, whether it's you're a savvy business person who's just really keen on growing a business, or you have a product and you really love the product and you just want to get out there more, or maybe you're someone who just wants to build a bit of a legacy and something to pass on to your kids. As long as you kind of understand that and you are passionate about doing this and you are willing to put in some work, then you're the kind of person that we can help. Secondly, you might be feeling overwhelmed. A lot of people that get into e-commerce typically learn pretty quickly that there's a lot of things involved. It can feel very overwhelming. You're not sure where to start, and sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. You hear that pretty commonly. So that's definitely something that we want to help you overcome today. And lastly, really, if you're here because you want to make more money, if you want to kind of create a better lifestyle for yourself, and you don't want to just create a business that's paying the ATO, your employees, or manufacturers, you want actual profit, that is really what we are here to focus on today. So I want to quickly introduce Paul. A lot of you have probably already spoken to Paul. Maybe you saw him in the video. He's the CEO of both our businesses, and I just wanted to kind of give a bit of why you should spend the next hour or so listening to what he has to say.
Oh, good. All right. Thanks, Chris. Again, guys, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to jump on and hopefully learn a few things. So So quickly, I've been in the e-commerce space since 1997. I started all the way back when I was 16, 17 years old at mum and dad's house, like many of us. So I was a computer nerd back then and thought I would need to start selling things on the internet because I like buying things, and I figured it made sense at the time to sell the things that I wanted to use. So did that for 15 years or so, and I sold that business in 2014 to a public company called Shoply. Shoply then got acquired by a company called Harris Technology, which you guys are probably aware of. They purchased a whole bunch of other brands as well. But during that process, I'm like, not the process, sorry, like leading up to that, it was an interesting journey. I probably sold like 40 million bucks worth of products. This is before Meta ads, before Google ads, before all that kind of stuff. So I made all the mistakes that most people these days are still making. So come 20, when was it? 3 years ago, Chris and I were chatting. So Chris McLean with the Mr. Mustache guy on this call, we're sitting there and we go, said we need to launch an e-commerce coaching community because I'm coaching like so many brands in a one-to-one capacity. And it's like there's a lot involved in that, right? So I said, let's launch the e-com circle so that we can come and coach many people at once. In addition to having, like, I've got a number of one-to-one clients that I work with as well. So I think we're pushing nearly 400 people in the community at the moment. Very proud about that. You head over to that page, look at the amazing testimonials that we've got from like real business owners. So not like just kids, that's like proper people, mums and dads, families, that kind of thing, having a good crack. I also run Insiteful. So I started Insiteful probably 15 years ago. And Insiteful was my dev company that I used to actually build all the technology at Warcom. So I spent probably 2 mil, I reckon, on building the Warcom technology platform. And this is well before Shopify and everything even existed. So we had a full-on accounting and ordering and order processing, and everything you can think of was involved in that system. And it was a headache and a half. So when I sold that business sold the Warcom business, I then pivoted the Insiteful brand after a few years into becoming a Shopify agency. So now we build about 100 Shopify sites a year for 6, 7, and 8-figure brands because Shopify is an amazing platform that's very cheap to use and very reliable and very easy to use and does away with all the headaches that most people have. I say most, not all, but most of the headaches that I had. So yeah, these days, we help people build a high converting Shopify website, whether we build it for them or they buy our store converter kit and do it themselves. And then the next step in their journey, go over to the eComm circle, jump into the coaching calls, get private help, get help from our specialist team, and then build their brands into 6, 7, and 8-figure profitable brands. So I like to think that I can solve just about any problem in the eComm space. So most people get pretty overwhelmed and think they have very sophisticated and advanced problems that are unsolvable. And being exposed to so many brands at the moment, like I reckon I've solved just about anything. If I don't know, like it's pretty rare I'd find someone who does. So, but I also like to simplify stuff because it's very easy to spend a stupid amount of time trying to figure stuff out that should have taken 2 minutes. But by the time you've gone to TikTok and YouTube and where all the gurus hanging out and trying to get answers from 9 different people and you're still getting it wrong. So I thought, like, that's why we need the eComm circle. So everyone's over there using the same system, the same processes, the same framework, the same growth methods, and going, here's your next 3 steps. Let us know when you've done them, and then on to your next step. So, but now, as this says, I'm 25 years in eComm. Some days I'm like, it's been a long time since I've been in it. But, I think I really enjoy helping people build brands. And especially, like, I'm a dad now, I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and there's kind of like nothing more important than building good businesses so that it builds good lives for our families, right? Not just like, let's sell crap on the internet and see what happens. Like, that's not what I'm about. So again, yeah, I hope you guys get tons of good value out of tonight. So back to you, Chris.
Cheers. Yeah, good. Nice speech. And guys, a couple of screenshots here. This is taken from the back end of our Shopify. And the reason we post these is just to see, like, some people don't believe these kind of numbers can be possible. Some might look at this and just see, like, it's just another average day, but a lot of people are kind of new here. And this is the reality of businesses that we're working with. And I do want to actually share a couple case studies as well with you guys. So this is Steve from Holdcom. Steve came to us. He's selling high quality Holden parts for enthusiasts. And basically when he came to us, he was already doing 170K a month. So this guy was a little bit further along in the journey, obviously, but he really didn't have a grasp on some of the core elements that we really help people with. So we really tackled kind of how to help convert people better on his website. And you can see within about 10 months, he went from 170K per month to 280K per month. So did some awesome growth with Steve. But even on a smaller scale, we have people like Paul and Delane who, well, not really small anymore, but they started off, I think they're doing about 6K or so a month, really doing a lot of pop-ups and markets. Some of you guys here might be doing pop-ups and markets quite a lot as well to get your products out there. And Paul and Delane were doing about 8K a month, 6 to 8K a month selling its protein and collagen powders. And they knew they had a great product, but they just needed to take it online, and they didn't really know how. And that's how we got in contact. And from there, we just helped them with, creating that high converting website, really getting clear brand messaging. And from there, it was just let's send traffic to this new website that is built to sell people on your products. And I think pretty quickly we got to about 40 or 50K a month when we got this thing launched. But I think now, just of recently, this is I think their February takings. It's about 120K was their February. I think they're doing even more now. So these guys have grown quite a lot, and they're happy with like where they're at, and they're at the point where the lifestyle they have is really comfortable, and they're happy to just run a business that is kind of chugging along at this rate. And then we even have people like Karen, who she's in this workshop herself. Feel free to come say hi, Karen. But on her admission, I get her to tell me this stuff about her, so I'm not just saying it. But she's not techie. She's in her 60s and used to be using Etsy. She makes these beautiful teacups here. And she sells them so that she hand makes them. So we love working with products like that. And when she started, she was doing maybe about 2 to 3K a month on Etsy, not really controlling the growth of her business much. We helped her to come over to Shopify. She built this website herself using our converter kit. And then from there was just following our strategies to grow the business. She's doing about 15K or so a month at the moment. And we're just helping her with meta ads at the moment to really help grow the brand. And then lastly as well, I'll give you one more example. So this is Jade. Jade herself, she didn't even have a product. I know a lot of people here might not even have a product yet. You're thinking, is this possible for me to do? Just as an example, Jade came to one of these events about 12 months ago, and she had no idea what she wanted to do. She just knew she wanted to do e-commerce. And so the same things we'll kind of teach you today about what kind of a product to pick and how to go down that is what we taught Jade. She went along and just kind of really worked within her passions and found some products that worked for her. And herself, she joined the circle. And she actually couldn't come to a lot of the live calls, but what she would do is between the time where she put her kids to bed and then her going to sleep, she had a bit of time to watch our recordings every week and just work on her own business, and chipped away to the point where now she's doing, I think, about 15 to 20K a month. We're actually due to have an interview as well to catch up on how everything's going. But she's now running this business, doing awesome. And I believe she's like soon ready to go all in on it, which would be a great step for her. So all I want to say, guys, is that it is very possible. If you're here to start a real brand and you want to grow it, it is very possible no matter where you're starting right now. And we do obviously have an unhidden agenda, like Paul said. Basically, guys, we want to work with as many of you as possible. We're not shy about it, but we do want to get a lot of value for you out of this session today. But it's kind of our thing. We always ask permission first, and I'm going to ask you guys, is it okay with you at the end of this? If you do find this really helpful, this session, just leave a yes in chat if you're right, if we share with you how you can continue to get our support moving forward. If you're cool with it, just please leave a yes in chat so I know that we're going to be okay to do this come the end of this show. And Chris and Paul, I can't see it, so just let me know if I'm getting some yeses.
Everyone said yes, obviously. Oh, good.
Sure hope so.
Everyone's nodding frantically.
Excellent, excellent. I like nods and I like yeses. Perfect. So this will help us, guys, when we do give a bit of feedback to you. If you can share roughly what size you're at, don't be nervous if you're a startup or you're a setup and you feel maybe a bit smaller than others. It doesn't matter, guys. We just want to be specific with the kind of feedback we give you. So if you can, please share where you are in your journey. That way, when we do speak with you, we know kind of where you're at already. And when we go through these systems, some people think that we are relying on luck a lot of the time, sometimes magic. But in reality, the reason we're able to replicate these results across different niches is because we just have a system. And what I want to touch on quickly is the more orders model. This is our system that we use to grow every brand that we work with, whether they're a brand like Steve who came to us and they wanted to really optimize the business and scale, or they're someone who comes to us saying, I just really want to start a new business and I want to do it the best way. These are the three pillars that, for us, these are the biggest needle moving things for any e-commerce business, and it's what we help with people the most. I've actually dropped you a couple of clues previously as to what those things might be. So if you're really astute, you probably picked up a couple of things there. But I'm going to ask you guys, we usually play, this is actually a game of Hangman. So if you can indulge me for a few minutes, I want you to have a couple of guesses on what you think each of these three pillars may be. I've got a bit of a clue for you too. So each of these start with S. They actually all start with ST, to be fair. So it's ST. I want you guys to just have a couple guesses. What do you think each of these three pillars might be? And
Whoever gets it first wins a prize of some sort. It's got to be good. Everyone knows how to play Hangman, right? Like, so 5 letters, first 2 letters are S and T. So, no, no.
we get scale. Scale is a result of
Yeah.
doing these processes. So we have one that really focuses on the sales platform, if that makes sense. Now, again, sales is also just a result of this. This one really focuses on the who you are, and this one is all about how you grow. Take a couple guesses, guys. There's no bad guesses.
Yes.
Story.
Wow. All
Bang.
right.
Miriam. Yes.
Miriam's off
Story.
and running. Start. No.
I like the answer.
Style.
Style's a good answer, but
Oh,
not quite
yeah.
style. Nisi, was it? Got it.
It might sound like web store, just saying, but a bit
Strategy.
shorter.
Bang. Kylie with the
Guy was on
strategy.
it. That's it. All right. That's it. Now, whoever gets it between, and then we're going to have a winner. Two
One
out
more.
of three.
This is the platform. This is where people buy from you.
And it's got 5 letters. No, no. Let's go. It might sound like
What's on your
store.
Shopify store? Bang.
Yes. Got it.
Kylie wins.
Oh, we got it.
Good
Kylie
job,
wins.
Kylie.
Right.
All right. Well,
We're
thank
going
you
to
for
figure out a
putting,
price. I don't know what
thanks
it
for
is.
putting everyone out of the misery. Now, guys,
Right.
it is store, story, and strategy. So I'm going to quickly explain from our perspective what this means, these three things, and why they're so important. And then what Paul's going to do is he's going to pick one or two brands that you guys share with us, and then he's going to help apply these strategies directly to your businesses to show how we would do it if we were in your shoes. So store, like I said at the start, this is all about conversion rate and conversion rate optimization. A lot of people, when they're running a brand and trying to scale a brand or getting their first sales, they seem to think the best idea is to just throw money at it and see how it performs, and then we'll optimize. Now, the fact is, most of us don't have unlimited amounts of cash to throw at the wall and see what sticks. We mainly work with small Aussie brands. So for us, it's so important to make sure that we create a platform, a store that is built to convert before we start spending money on traffic. That way, when you do get traffic to your website, you're actually going to convert this into sales. You'll be profitable and you can reinvest that into the growth of your business. So conversion rate optimization is massive for us. We like to kind of work on the mantra that your website should be your 24/7 salesperson. It should be built to convert anyone into a sale as good as possible. As if, say, you're at a say Miriam, I think you said you mentioned that you're at a lot of pop-ups. It's as if you're at pop-ups and you're selling the products yourselves. You want your store to be able to represent that and imitate that. Secondly, is the story. And this is simply all about the who you are, what you do, and why people should be spending their hard-earned money with you and not your competitors. And for us, when we talk about story, we get into the real nitty-gritty of what we call a brand communication strategy. And this is all about the actual words and phrases that go all over your website in certain places, which also goes on your social media, on your ads, on your emails, everywhere that you exist, that conveys those three things that I mentioned before. Because a lot of the time, people will actually connect with you and the business and what it represents, and this is how we stop people from price shopping and stop, people like Temu being able to just pick up our products, ape us, and outcompete us by spending more money with us. And lastly, strategy. This is all about how do we profitably grow this business step by step. It's all about setting a plan over the next 90, 180, 270, and 360 days, which will help a few of you do today. And really getting clear on what are the pieces of the business that I will be building, growing, and scaling over time. And this is what we do to really help people get, overcome that overwhelm that we mentioned earlier, is by getting super specific on what are our actionables and when. So, guys, like I mentioned before, these are the three things. We nail it with every single person who comes to us, whether they're learning the foundations from the start or they're coming to us ready to scale. This is what we focus on. So I'm going to give it over to Paul again. And like I mentioned, we're going to pick one or two brands and we're going to help apply these three principles to your businesses. So, Paul, did you have anything in mind, any other businesses you saw in mind that you'd like to welcome?
They're all good, but I'm happy for you to pick one. I was looking at the honey brand.
Yeah,
Like,
look,
there's a lot of
Miriam
work.
got in first. I liked it too. So, Miriam, I'll ask you first. Are you happy to come off mute, say hi, and are you happy for us to review the website?
Yes, so good.
All right.
Beautiful. Well, first of all, how about give us a bit of an introduction to yourself and the business, how long you've been around for, and yeah, just tell us a little bit about the products that you sell.
Right. I have been doing this part-time for about 6 years. So I've recently retired and time to sort of step up a bit. I do sell at market. So my products, I make soap using my own goat's milk and my own beeswax and honey. So my story is that I keep bees and goats. And I make other products using beeswax. So my theme is about sustainability. All of my products are paper-based, so there's no plastic, and also focusing on saving the bees.
Saving the bees. Everyone's trying to save the bees at the moment. It's good.
Mhm.
All right, so we should. All right, so let's have a look what's going on here. So many soap brands around. I mean, it's like feels like I'm chatting to 20 new soap brands. I got a
Yeah,
client that joined the community recently and they're so like beef tallow soap. And I'm like,
yeah, that's the
oh,
latest. Yeah.
yeah, that's the latest craze and like everything. So,
And
all
just
right,
so
let's get in. Yep. Let's get into. I'm gonna just gotta change something. I'm live streaming this over to see if that works. I don't know. People can try and see what I'm showing them on the screen. So let's have a look at the site. So now, as Chris spoke about, there's two. Well, these are the two areas that affect you the most, right? There's other people on the call that don't have these problems at the same level of significance that you do. But a few things, right? You're selling an outcome where people go, great, it's a good product, it's good for the planet, it's good for the bees, good for me, it's better than the crap at the supermarket. All of those things that you need to be mentioning, right? So you've got a few things on there. So I'm going to draw all over my screen and you guys can see, no, you can't see my screen there, right? That didn't work. Share screen, try again. Oh, good. Can you say,
Can
Chris?
see your screen.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, it's my first day on the internet today. So let's try. So here is what people are working with when they land on your site from a desktop. And I know some people go, oh, most of my traffic comes from mobile, blah, blah, blah. Like it's a bit hard to show on mobile screen. So now things that matter the most when people land on your website are the promises and the trust statements and a lot of other things that you lead with. So for example, you've got a statement here and you've got a thing here and you've got like all of these things going on here, right? Now, this is called a H1 tag. That's a heading 1 tag. This is called a H2 tag. That's called a heading 2 tag. These things are called trust statements. This thing up here is called an announcement bar, right? So, and there's about 40 other things that should be going on in here before I even talk about them. But what you want to happen is you need to be making a statement in your H1 where people read it and they go, yes, in their head. So they're like, you know, the greatest soap ever that's going to save all the bees and make you smell so good that you whatever, right? And people go, oh, yes, 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 yes. I want that thing, right? And it's the same with your H2. Your H2 needs to be, you know, no, most people don't sit there and go natural, eco-friendly products made with our own goat milk, beeswax, honey, and medicinal plants, right? That's not what they're seeking. They're seeking how your product ultimately helps them and helps the planet and helps other things. So when they read it in their brain, they go, yes, 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 yes. So we'll do a bit of work on this together. And then we'll probably give you a complete new one. And Chris McLean will help me on this because this is his jam. So, and it's the same with these other things down the bottom. So this is a trust statement, right? So sustainable packaging. Most consumers don't care about that, right? Secure checkout. They definitely don't care about that. That's expected. Palm oil free? Yes. Made in New Zealand? Probably. Handmade? Probably. Eco-friendly? No. So what we need to do is rebuild this so that like you get about 8 yeses before someone has even started scrolling. So, and why this matters so much is because once we figured out what we're going to say here, we're going to take all of this stuff. We're going to put all of this into your ads that you're eventually going to run on meta ads or at your next market or wherever you talk to people or however you talk about your brand so that when people are standing next to you at a market and you're like, it does da, 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 and da, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And they go, and they're just going like this. Yes, 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 yes. They give you the money. And if for some reason you can't talk to them at the market, they're going to keep walking, but they're going to go to your website later. And now you've got this new U-Boot website that's designed to sell for you 24 hours a day whilst you're asleep. They come here and they go, this is what Miriam probably would have said to me at the market. Yep. I'll scroll down and I'll place an order. Right. So going to clear my screen for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into this tool, which, we haven't quite launched this yet. I got about 60 people using it and it's not quite launched, but this is called my More Artist Command Center, and Chris's as well. It's our whole team have worked on this. So basically what it does is people like yourself can log in here and you can work on your own brand story, right? So it is trained to do this based on how like Chris thinks and I think and all the rest of our team think. So for example, we go in here and, nope, my mouse is doing something weird. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go, I need to work on my homepage copy. So give this a second and let this do its thing. So, and why we've done this is so that you guys can work on all of this like when you're asleep, right? So homepage headline generator. So let's start there. And we got like 5 different versions of how to do this. So let's go, and where do we want to start with this for your particular brand? So let's just get into it anyway. So I'm going to move some tabs over. Actually, I want to do a different one. Might just use a slightly different one because it'll work better for this. So brand playbook. Let's do that one. And you guys can sign up to this. You can start using it tomorrow. It's like $25 a week. All right, game changer. So we'll do that brand playbook builder. That'll probably work better for this. So, all right, let's get into it. Now, what it's going to do, it's going to ask you lots of questions. All right, so you go, here's my brand. Oh, helps if I could type. Give it a second to think. Geez, I really hope it works and doesn't like decide to not work. So sometimes my internet goes, bleh. So, all right, let's have a look here now. So go through the whole thing. All right, here we go. Our brand, natural, eco, da-da-da-da-da. Here's the origin story. So, and these are all things that we would ask you, right? We're like, what's the story of the brand positioning statement. So now something else that's very important when we do this is the phrases and the keywords and stuff that we ultimately end up on your homepage with they need to be keywords that people actually search for in a Google search or a ChatGPT search or things like this, right? So for example, if there's 2,000 people a month that search for the phrase goat milk skincare with honest natural ingredients, it'd probably be this one, right? Goat milk skincare or whatever. You probably want to try and include that in there so that you rank for that, all right? So let's go back and see what we've got. Black sperm milk and honey. So for example, nobody searches for that. I can probably guarantee probably 3 people a month, something, right? However, there's probably 2,000 people a month that search for goat's milk skincare with honest natural ingredients. So now immediately people read that and they go, yep. And they go honest natural ingredients. They go, yep. And these are like, I'm going to make these way better than they are at the moment. However, already we have 2 yeps, right? So this is already better. Then we get onto like your H2, handmade soap, lotion bars for natural product seekers, right? So like then we will replace that in this section, right? So I'm going to do some work on this, and Chris, jump in if you want as well as we do this. But even before I do that, like this is kind of already given you some slightly different like trust statements. So it's cold pressed soaps that preserves the moisture. It is hand milled goats, it's garden herbs, it's no factory shortcuts, it's raw honey that actually heals, moisturizes, and softens. Like you can see where I'm going with all these things, right? People are going to read that and they go, I want that, 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 right? So, and the more yeses you get, the more likely people are to start scrolling and start buying. So this is very applicable to everybody on here. You want to add into that, Chris, or I'm going to keep going through? You good?
Yeah, the like what you're doing there, it's you've switched it from the brand talking about what the brand does to what the benefit for the customer is. So this, what you've got outcomes here versus it's like benefits versus features. So this is very feature heavy. Like we do this, we do this, we do this, we do this. What we want is what does the customer actually want? Because the more we can play to the customer, what's in their mind already about what they want, they go, I trust the brand because they understand me. So that's what this process that you're going to go through when you go deep is like, who's the customer? Why do they want to buy? What problems are they having? How do we help solve them? Why do they want to buy it from us instead of someone else? And all of that stuff is going to come together to nail that. those two sentences on the webpage.
So like I've rewritten there. So I've just taken what Chris said, right? So for example, we could another option. So let's go through again. So here's a new one: goat's milk skin for lasting relief and real comfort. That's why you want it ultimately, right? So it's lasting relief. It's good for skincare. You go, great. And then your H2 is very descriptive. And then I can see a cat or something interrupting you there. It was crawling on your shoulder. So handcrafted soaps, lotions for sensitive skin, and there's no plastic waste. So people read that and they go, great. All right, we're already in a better place. Now, as they start scrolling down, for example, like you need a big statement in here that says, and let's just assume I drew on my screen, like right there. That's really like if I was standing in front of you at a market, you would say this to me. So what did I come up with there? So experience the difference of true nourishment, blue spur, milk and honey goats, goat's milk soaps and lotions deliver practical, lasting comfort for dry, sensitive and unsettled skin. People go, yep, I've got one of those things. Each bar is simply made. It's got no detergents, no synthetic perfumes. It's got results in natural hydration. I'm reading that myself and I'm like, I should buy some of that. Right. So I want to show you why this matters as well. And the level of sophistication that we go through when we do this for a big brand, right? So I've done this very simple, and if I was to rate myself here, I'd give like a 4 out of 10, right? So I'm going to bring up this document, and this is something that Chris does with like all of our inner circle members. And this is what separates a big brand, like a 100 grand a month brand to a hundreds of thousands of dollars a month brand, right? So first thing we do is we go, why are you selling what you're selling? Why is it so important that you do this? What are your personal values? Like all of you started a business because you have personal values that are driving what you're doing, right? Then we go, what are the brand's values, right? Then what are the beliefs that the brand have? So for example, Kylie's like, well, our product is vastly superior to the others because they're full of gluten, right? Or they're full of nasties, or they're full of this, or and ours doesn't do that. And we don't want ours to do that. Right. I'm not sure what Colby sells at the moment. I'll have to have a look. But, as you guys go through this exercise, you go, well, how does it sound? What's the voice of this brand as well? Right. So then we start to build out. Hang on a second. I'm going to Liam, I'm working, mate. Out. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
All good.
Hang on. I'm going to mute.
This is exactly what we're saying. At some point today, you just got to wait for it.
Family-founded business problems.
Yeah, it'll come crashing in.
Yeah, so this process is about 20-something tabs, and when I go through this and work through this with brands, we take 4 to 5 to 6 hours to go through every single aspect of this, because the more you understand each of these individual things, the tighter and more specific all of your messaging becomes, and you're not just writing generic words that don't mean anything. You're saying specific words that trigger specific thoughts in a specific type of person's head, and that builds instant trust, which is ultimately what we're trying to do in 2 or 3 sentences at the top of the website, and then obviously through the rest of the site. But that's ultimately why we go to this level of work, so that we stand up and the right person goes, oh yeah, this is for me.
So, and then, sorry, I was my son running and like whatever. Anyway, so now we go, well, what is this is where it's important as well. What is the persona of the brand, and who are we speaking to? I don't know if you'd mentioned this already, Chris, but like, who is the actual person that we're speaking to? So we go, hey, here's a custom avatar, right? We go, it's Jenny. Jenny's 32. Jenny makes 100 grand a year. She's single. She has 3 cats. She really likes honey. She reads these magazines. She consumes this kind of stuff on the internet. Right? So, and then once we've done this exercise, you come out at the end here and you go, great. Like now I figured out what our mission is and our USP and our product positioning statements. And go, cool. We now have our H1 and we now have our new H2, right? And we now have our unique selling proposition and so forth on the site as well. So can't stress this enough that this is an incredibly important exercise for all brands to do before they go and do anything else. Because what you want to do is you take all of this and then you give it to all of the agencies and your team and everyone else that you work with, and you go, talk about our brand like this. Don't just make stuff up yourself. You got to say these things, right? Makes sense? So I want to come back to the site a bit and have a quick look at it, because I think these are already much better what we've got here. But you don't have a lot. You got this down the bottom, Kiora. Yeah. So, all right, we'll keep moving through this. So, is that clear what this looks like from a brand messaging perspective? All right, cool. Now what we're going to look at is website conversion stuff, right? So when we make a website for someone, like I always say it, I try to segment everything out and go, hey, you got a homepage, you have a product page, you have a cart page, you have a thank you page, you got a lot of pages on your website. On all of those pages, there are lots of different elements that need to be on the page, and they need to be in the right order in order for those pages to convert as good as they can. Right. So say, for example, and I'm going to show you something in a second and you'll go, oh, I get it. I understand why my website's not converting well. But this particular thing here is something I've been working on for like 15 years. And you go, hey, on your homepage, you need to have all of these things that I've got on my checklist here in order for your homepage to convert as good as it can. Right. And it's the same for your collection page, and it's the same for your product page, and it's the same for your thank you page. So we're going to have a look at Miriam's site in a minute and go, this is the reason it's not converting as good as it can. So let's go and check out. What's your best selling product at the moment, Miriam?
Sorry, I turned that off because my granddaughter's here. Probably the hand lotion.
Okay. All right. Let's have a look here. So where's that one?
Yeah.
It's this one. All right. Let's have a look. So a few things, right? So I'm on here. Okay, I can see that it says free shipping up here, New Zealand, blah, 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 $75. You don't have a lot of reviews.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a big issue at the moment. So it's nice that you've got Shop Pay on there. That's good. It always blows my mind.
I've only just turned reviews on.
I don't take those off. Sorry, what was that?
I've only just put the reviews on up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. All right, cool. So please make sure you have reviews on your homepage, because most people don't. And then you're like, oh, I can't, people aren't going to buy anything. So this is a good start. These things are called meta-field benefits. However, like meta-field benefits need to be used to handle objections from people, right? So typically what people will go here, they'll go, okay, so it's a solid hand lotion bar. They've got one review, $9. Shipping's calculated at checkout. I don't like that. Have you tried this? Obviously I haven't tried it, right? So you go, typically they'd be going, what are the 4 things that people are thinking about right now that's going to stop them from buying? Right. So, for example, you would go, what do we want to put in here? We probably talk about these things. Right. So we would reframe these statements on where I had them down in here and make them into shorter versions of this. Right. Again, for the same reason, you go, people read that, they go tick, 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 they go, yep, they go and they check out. All right. So, I want to show you something else quickly as well. So, for example, when it comes to conversion rate optimization, who's that talking?
As Miriam.
I'll just mute Miriam for a second. All right. I showed you like things that you need to do to fix conversion rate optimization for a product page. However, you also need to do stuff like this, right? So this particular sheet here, and I'm going to give this to all of you. This sheet is just to optimize just the images on your homepage, right? So it talks about the level of like where the environment, where the photos are taken, how they're taken, right? So even in this sheet alone, there is, what have I got? 125 lines of things that you need to check. And you go, all right, if I have all of these boxes ticked, all of these things also lead to your site converting better, right? So I'll chuck that in the chat. That can be a free gift to you guys. Use that as you wish. Please, use that properly. So it'd be a game changer for you. Now, what we might do for a second, so let's talk about your numbers for a minute, Miriam. Like, what revenue are you doing at the moment on the site? Monthly. I need to get you off mute again.
Monthly, probably only about 500 a month.
Okay. All right. Do you know how many visitors you got a month coming to your website?
No, but I did check the conversions. What was it? 1.6%.
Okay. All right. So let's do this then. What did I send the wrong thing, Chris? You can if it's wrong with me.
Oh, wrong thing. Gotcha.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so let's look at this, because this is a very important exercise that I do for brands. It's typically, we sometimes get people that are a bit bigger on here. Well, let's assume those numbers were not your numbers, right? So I'm going to do this and show you something. All right. So I'm working with a brand. They sell honey. on the internet. They get 10,000 visitors a month to their website. They've got a conversion rate of 1.2%. Their average order value is $45, right? So how much money is a brand making at the moment? We've given those numbers. So we'll do this. We'll let this do the maths because I'm terrible at maths. So 10,000 people visiting, 1.2%, you're making $5,000, right? Now, for bigger brands, once we do this exercise again, I want to show you a few different things. So now let's assume this website had a way better brand strategy, right? So that more people who came to the website, it actually said the right thing to them in the tone that they wanted to hear it, and they like resonated with it and they purchased more stuff. That's the first problem we solved. The second problem, they actually built a high converting website that converted at 4.5%. And the average order value was now $122, right? And we haven't fixed anything else at all. We haven't done bundles or anything else so far. All we've changed is two numbers and fixed the brand story. How much money does that brand now make per month? And over the course of the year, how much more money does that brand make over the course of the year by fixing just those core three things? Everyone see what I've done there? We fixed your brand story and fixed only two things. We haven't fixed how your ads run. We haven't fixed how your email flows work. We haven't fixed all the other stuff, right? You've gone from let's go have a look here. So you're now doing $54,000 a month, $49,500 more. And over the course of the year, you've done an extra $500,000. So I can't stress this enough that you have to absolutely nail your brand messaging, and you have to absolutely nail having a website that converts as much traffic as possible and sells them as much stuff as it can, at least on the first order, right? Many of you have cool brands that people, once you've got them, they're going to keep coming back, right? But if you don't get them on the first order using these kind of numbers, it becomes very, very hard to run ads because you're going to go to and this is exactly what happened. You'll go and talk to an agency. They will never tell you to fix the things that I told you to fix because they don't know how to. But they'll go, I'll take your cash and I'll run your ads, and I'll run your ads for 4 months, and I'll come back and I'll be like, sorry, Kylie, it's not really working. We're getting you a 3x return on your ad spend. I'm like, yeah, that's shit house. Right? And you go, great. Like, all right. So what they should have done is fix that, and then run your ads, right? Because you don't go sending traffic to a store that's not built to say the right thing and convert properly. And most people do. Like 99% of people on this call do. Like I've met people that are on here and they're doing $250,000 a month and they have to fix these things. So I go, you guys are just going to fix this thing and this thing, and now you got a $500,000 a month business before you've done anything else, all other good shit that I can help you fix. Makes sense? Any questions about this so far?
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So most of my sales are from existing customers or people I meet at the market. So I need to work on,
So imagine all the people that you meet at the market, and I'm like, so I go to the market and then I buy this soap product and it's sitting on my desk, and then Chris comes to my house, either Chris, I'd like me to, we got the redundancy of Chris's over here, but they come over and they go, oh, what's this product? And then I go, oh, it's cool, buy it. And I go to your website at the moment, they wouldn't buy it, right? However, if you nailed your story and if you nailed how the website convert, Chris would leave my house, go to his house, buy your stuff, and you'd have a new customer. So again, can't stress this is enough. When you guys like at markets, in retail, in wholesale, in everything, like people are busy, right? So they're typically not going to go and buy from you in the first touch point, right? That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But anyway, so they're going to go, they're going to do their research. They're going to follow your ads. They're going to see you on the internet. They're going to see all your Instagram posts that you're doing all the time. And you even take all this stuff that I'm talking about, you put that in all your Instagram posts and your reviews and your stories and everything else. And you go, great. Say you scale a business properly. And this is the thing that I've always done. Like if my walk-on brand, I was very clear who I helped, how I helped them, how it benefited their life, blah, blah, blah. And it's the same with Insiteful and it's the same with eCommerce Circle. And it's the way that I stand out in the market as well. Like example, how many e-commerce coaches are there in the space? Tons of them. Any guru can go get a body computer and be like, I coach people to run e-com brands. But I'm like, I work largely with like mum and dad's, husband and wife, mum and daughter, people doing it for their families, and they want to build a $500,000 a month business. They want to exit it and they want to make like tons of cash. And people go, cool, he's my guy. In amongst all the other stuff that I do that people probably don't notice about when we talk about it. So Do we want to do this for another brand, Chris? There was another one, wasn't there? This one here.
There was Sky had hers, but I believe she was kind of on mute and no webcam because of her situation. So unless that's changed,
All
or
right.
you want to do it anyway. Sky, are you still around with us?
Hmm.
Yeah, she's there. But
We can have a look anyway. One thing I will do though, right? So I'm going to show you this. Chris it's Sacred Bull, right? Like Zara's site. That's the one. So, so as an example, this soap here that I'm talking about, like this lady has gone through our process, right? So
That's cool.
she's nailed her H1. She's nailed her H2. She's like, yeah, we sell biological armor. I'm like, shit, that sounds tough, right? So you go to her product, and you go, we've got reviews, and I go to her product page, and she's got more reviews, and da da da. Like, so for context, she built this website herself just by figuring out how to do some of the stuff, right? So it's good, still could be 100 times better, but you go to like her product page, and let's look at a few things from a conversion perspective. You go, like photos, you've got people holding the photo, you've got people using the product, you add the card button, you've got reviews, you've got like a short description. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. And again, just for clarity, like she still got a lot of stuff missing, but this is still like I'm pretty impressed with what she's done.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So this is certainly something you can do. So let's look
I
at.
wish we had that before, like when she came to us, like you couldn't even tell what she was selling at the start. And
No.
it's just like an AI photo, and now it's so completely different.
So let's look at this round. So things that you're doing right. Experience Australia's premium tanning products. Everyone says that. That's not a point of difference where I go, yeah, I need that. Like I want to hear that, like I'll have a tan like her by tomorrow, right? Or something, like probably impossible given how white I am, but something more along the line of like, like the ultimate tan in 24 hours, and it lasts for like 3 months and doesn't give you cancer and all the other things that really matter to me when I think about potentially getting a suntan, right? And then I come down here. Your perfect tan starts here, streak-free, fast-drying, clean print. That, again, I don't care. Like they're not things that I'm thinking about. So same exercise you need to go through is like what I just showed Miriam is like, what are all the buzzwords, for lack of a better word, that people want to think about when it comes to getting a tan? I think it's probably speed. It's kind of how long it lasts. It's like, is it greasy? Is it slimy? Like, who else uses it? Right. So down here, I'd be like, trusted by 5,000 women around Australia. We have 500 reviews. We got 5,000 reviews, whatever they are, blah, 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 right? Even the photo, I'm like, is this only for women? Like, do men use this product? Well, no, I assume they do, right? So your imagery is very important. So now we go down here again, you don't have like a unique selling proposition going this. Cool, makes sense. Yep.
Did I freeze or was that you?
You froze.
That was Paul.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, Paul, you just frozen. All good. We got you.
I'm back now.
Yes.
Just joking. So,
yeah.
Let's have another look here. So, because it jumps straight, I've only got 31 reviews. Okay. Quickly, no one cares about eComm awards because the only people who know about eComm is people who've been in eComm. So delete this stuff, right? Like if you have industry awards that don't look like that thing, such as, I don't know, Byron Bay's best skincare product of 2025 or something legitimate. Like I think, Kylie, you got awards and stuff on your thing, don't you? You got like something from what I can remember. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but legitimate awards that mean stuff to people, use them, right? So we'll have a quick look around as well. What else we got going on? Important update, no local delivery delays on. Probably don't put that there. Like might nuke some of that stuff. Let's go to a product page. So yeah, I would have like just tons of these. Like she's got an awesome tan, so 3-in-1, extended graduate. There's a lot of text. It's very, very heavy. I can only see not something's going on with your images here. I do like the before and after concept, but I don't see a before and after here. Like what did she look like? What does she look like now? 7 sold in the last 10 hours. People know that this is fake as well. So if you're going to use this kind of scarcity stuff, it needs to be legit. Is there a reason? Do you have no reviews on these products at the moment? Is it Sky? That's your brand? Not sure. All right. I'll just assume you don't. So, yeah. So anyway, like I would be leaning heavily into all the like model content, like all over the front page, because you don't see anything really until you get there's one image and that's it. Let's have a look at a couple other little things before we move on. So if I add this to my cart, and I'm also like, please don't do this. Like, don't try and get people under a subscription with their first order. It's like very rare that it works well for any brand. So I go add the cart here and I go in here. So you're using an unoptimized version of the hour theme from what I can see, because all this stuff is not working how it should. So is Sky actually there? Because I love to ask some questions.
Sorry, I'm here. I just
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your kids in the background? I'm currently in the process of changing themes to the Shrine Pro version as well. And there should be like apps that link reviews within the product, but these ones don't work properly.
Yeah, you don't need to change. Our theme is fine. We build about 150 sites a year on our theme. So it's just that you haven't set it up properly. So you don't need to do that.
It's already done.
Already done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost done, yeah. So $600 on the theme. And like, because when I go into the picture on itself, like it like shrinks it down. If you have a look at the original picture on, like if you scroll up there, see how it's weird? No, not that one, the actual product.
Yeah.
Yeah, like see how it's kind of, when you're just looking at it, it like really skews it down.
It's very blurry. For one, is that what you're talking about?
No, if you hop out of there.
Yeah. Oh, because it's like condensing it. It should be centered.
Yeah. I'm not sure why.
Because it's square. I think because you've got different aspects in all of the different images. That's square. The other one's tall. So it's putting a tall. It's like a 50-50 split, and one's tall and they're the same width but different heights.
Yeah.
So you got like a thing that's called like a masonry grid style.
Yeah.
Where it's putting kind of columns next to each other. That's why that one's small.
Okay.
So they all need to be portrait and they all need to be centered, for example. So easy to fix all that stuff. So I won't go too deep into this thing because, like, our theme is a great theme. We build our high converting framework on the our theme, but it has like 400 different things that we add to it to make it work well. So
I think with this one I had like is it Tolstoy subscriptions?
Yeah.
Heaps of different apps on there. So I ended up just going to Shrine to kind of bring down the monthly cost of the Shopify by getting rid of all of those apps as well.
Yeah, fair enough then. Okay. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Okay. You want to add anything else to this, Chris and Chris?
No, I think it's pretty.
I think you could like very, very text heavy. Yeah.
One thing,
the brand piece definitely. Like in this market, you've got to distinguish somehow. It's got to be like the benefit has to be different. The product itself has to do something unique. It's got to be for a certain type of person, generate some specific outcome. So like nailing that thing, there'll be like a combination of things that makes your brand different to all the others.
Yeah.
Going through that brand process Paul showed you before, that'll help you kind of dial that in. Sorry, you were going to say something?
Oh, sorry. When I wanted to ask you your opinion on like my brand story. It sort of happened during COVID and jabs and things like that. And I don't actually bring that up in the brand story, but I guess it's one of the unique things about the brand. Like, would you be not talking about it, or just because it is like controversial?
70% of the brands that we work with started during COVID. Story. So
everyone started at
Everyone started in 2021, 2022 during COVID when they lost their jobs. If that's your story, tell your story. Like the authenticity.
I don't know if people are still funny about,
there's people that aren't funny about it, and they're the ones that will buy from you because they like you and they like what you stand for. So that's one of those things that will make you unique, is what's genuine and authentic about you.
Yeah, cool. No, that's good to know. Yeah, because I kind of like avoid that and talking about it more, I guess. Maybe I should be or should have been like maybe 4 years ago. But anyway.
Something that is important though for you, and no theme or no brand messaging is going to fix this problem, is the fact that you are in an e-commerce business that is about image.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like you're selling modems and crap like I used to sell on the internet, where nerds don't care what the website look like, as long as the as long as the conversion rate elements were there, and as long as the price was good and they were clear when they were going to get it, like they were fine, right? So I got people who sell $700,000 a month on the internet at pool fences, right? You know, and their website, like looks like whatever it looks like, right? But for you, your site has to look beautiful, because what is the number one reason women, we'll just single out women here because it's like easier. Like, why are they buying from you, right? Because they want to look better. Do you know what I mean? So your site, number one thing, it's not like another thing, needs to be like polished, nice fonts, nice colors, nice white space, nice collection layout. So example, we launched this website for a client probably a couple of weeks ago, you know, and the use of white space and it's bright and nice fonts and like, here's your unique selling proposition and here's consistency in the photos and here is like your best selling products. And you can, I think people can probably see where I'm going with this, but like, to me, it feels like a beautiful website, right?
It's
and then
polished. Yeah.
It's polished and like the spacing is good. Like, you know, you apart from the fact that there's 0 reviews because I don't have any, but like no one on this call would be able to go, are they a 6-figure business or a 7-figure business by looking at the site? Most people probably go,
oh,
muted myself. I don't know. So you see where I'm going with this. So this is the number one thing you have to do. Anyone that sells makeup or beauty products or fashion products or any of that kind of stuff, you can't scrimp and just be like, I'll just go get another theme and I'll just like hack at it kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So however you get to that point, and I wish we can help you many different ways to get to there and go get a beautiful site. That's the number one thing you got to fix, because even if you nail your brand story, like it won't make a difference, right? You still have these problems. Trying to find another example that I can show you that like is probably applicable to you. So like, because I was chatting to my wife Emma about this before, because she runs our web division.
Paul? Are you looking for another brand?
Well, I'm thinking of like this brand, for example. So, you know, these people sell like gorgeous jewelry, right? So you scroll through and you're like, oh wow, look at the photos and like nice fonts and nice white space and and like where we're using messaging and so forth. Like, you know, you go to you go here and like it feels beautiful. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, like feels beautiful. I go to the product page and like it feels beautiful, right? So for them, it's a bit minimalistic. For you, like I think there's elements that they need that they don't have that they should add, but like this is the direction that they want. But the purpose of what I'm trying to say is like, you know, again, feels like they could have like a big shop in Byron and have, you know, 10 of the most beautiful people ever going, hey, come and buy jewelry from them. So even if you don't do that, you want the people on the internet to think that's what you do.
Yeah.
Right. So we can chat about however that looks like for you, and kind of trying to think we've got other brands that I'll show you. We have so many of them. But that's probably enough for now anyway. So
yeah, no, that gives me a good sort of goal to head towards anyway.
Yeah.
And just, I think, as you kind of mentioned before, just refining that message and like the brand story.
Absolutely. Yeah. Chris, do you know if the Angela's website's gone live? The Angela Wozniacki?
Yeah, it's live. Yeah. Angela Wozniak jewelry.
Yeah. Like that's another one. I feel like it's a similar vibe. Yeah. So, you know, beautiful font choice, beautiful photography, beautiful trust statements, like heaps of reviews, like space in everywhere. Like it just feels a certain way. So, so for people that are watching this live stream and later or whatever, like, you know, sure, say the right things, have a site that converts, but don't like, you know, still got to do this. This is my short version. Any questions from anyone about this at the moment? A few people sitting there and going, all right, cool. So I reckon the best thing to do from here is everyone's kind of at very different stages in their journey, Chris V. So probably be best to just go like, if you like what you hear at the moment, like let's just get on a call like tomorrow or the day after. And what we'll do is map out like individual plans for each of you as to like, these are the things that you need, right? And go, cool, we both agree these are things you need. What is the best course of action for them to help you hit those and do those things, right? So
yeah, we could do that. I'll
sound good
for everybody.
Yeah. All right.
Do we have any questions or anything? Anyone? I know. Actually, Colby, I remember we were chatting. You're kind of like figuring out which direction you want to move. Did you want to ask any questions about kind of that, or do you want to connect maybe another time? So you're just on mute at the moment, mate. If not, I'll drop a link. And...
I think one thing that we should at least do is like get everyone jumping into probably talk about the community. I think would be a good path from here. So let's do that for a second. So as I said at the start of the call, we run a community. Karen's in the community. She'll say amazing things about the community. But so we run the e-commerce circle. We do 5 calls like this a week. So we have call it like 5 or 6 different coaches in that coaching all different stuff. Like I do a call every Tuesday on like SEO and conversion rate optimization. We do a Meta ads call, a Google ads call. We do a brand call. We do a founders call every Friday where we go, hey, it's your turn to jump on and let's get you unstuck, right? So I think we're pushing nearly 400 people in there to like 370 or something. So when you join, you actually get free access to a course on how to run ads, how to do conversion rate optimization, how to do your own brand strategy, how to do your own creative, a whole bunch of other stuff. If you can't make calls, there's a recording channel as well. So everyone gets access to the recording channel. You can watch all the recordings just like Jade does. So because she's busy and she watches the recordings. So I might get Chris to drop a link to that for everyone on there because all of you should jump into that. So you can actually subscribe for a year as well and get in there and lock it in. So you can do that month to month, you can do weekly, whatever works for you. So $97 a month, try it for a month, see how you like it, right? But the thing that we will do anyway, anyone that subscribes for the $1,000 a year thing, we'll get on a fast path plan call for you guys. So I very happy to get on a call with you and go, here's what I would do in terms of how I would map out what you need to do. So I know that you guys, some of you are already chatting to Chris anyway, so we can get that locked in for the next few days. But cool. The other thing that I showed you around, and I might show you again as well, because this is pretty useful. So the more orders command center, again, like you guys have seen what I've done here tonight, like as I've done this for each of you kind of thing. So inside of this thing, again, this is also, you can pay for lifetime access. It's $1,000, right? So you get access forever. At the moment, there's 155 custom GPTs trained by me inside of this. So for example, you can go in there and you say, let's assume you have a store already. You can go, well, I've got a competitor. Why is the competitor store better than my store, right? So you come in here and you go tear down their store, compare it to my store, and let's do this. So let's assume that, let's pick one. Let's actually pick this. Let's assume you're a competitor, right? So tear down this store. So it will tear it apart as if it's me. And it'll go, here's all the things that they're doing better than you. So we'll give this a minute to do its magic.
And you set like levels of honesty, like how much they, sugarcoat a little bit, or is it just like brutal?
It's being nice at the moment. It's got a few 6s and a few 7s in there. So, but okay, here's all the things that they assume this was not your brand. They go, here's all the things that are working well, right? So, because this is very common. You guys have got a site and you go, I've got competitors. Why are they better than me? So you use this. Then you come back over here and you go, hey, I have a problem at the moment with what's a good one that we want to do here? Which one do I want to use for you guys? I've got a best-selling product, right? I want to sell more of my best-selling product, right? So you click the best-selling seller scaler and you go, this particular product is, let's grab it, this thing. All right. And, whoop, not there. This is my best seller. So what this is going to do is teach you how to sell more of it, right? So what will happen, it'll ask you a whole bunch of questions, right? You answer all the questions. It'll literally give you a plan and go, do this moving forward. You go, great, now how to sell more of what I sell a lot of. Then you come over here and you come back to this thing and you go, great, my next problem is, I don't know how to set up my email flows. All right, so you go in here. For anyone that's using Klaviyo, I know Karen set hers up during the week, but you go, cool. you got 3 options here. The Klaviyo Flow Builder, right? So you go, cool, click on that. All right, you go, here's my brand. Do this, and it'll literally tell you like what to put in your Klaviyo flows as a starting point, right? And then you go, cool, I've done that. So for those of you that are workaholics and like to work 24 hours a day, and never sleep, you can just keep banging out of this. So you go, cool, I've sorted email, I've sorted out bestsellers, I've sorted out that. Now Paul told me that my AOV is crap. So you go, Paul said my AOV is crap. How do we fix this? So again, what happens is it's going to give you the answer as if I was telling you how to do it. So the reason you join the eCommerce Circle coaching community is because you can use this here, right, virtually, and then you can go to the coaching community and you can be like, Paul, here's what I've done based on what your tool told me to do. Am I on the right path? And we go, yeah, good idea, but think about these things, right? So again, here's the AOV maximizer. Pick it and you go, I want to improve my AOV for my brand. So chuck a link in, couldn't be any easier. So, and this will become very clear why we want people to use this when people join the community, and because of a certain system that we operate from in there called our scorecard system. I won't talk about that on this call because there's a lot to it, but again, going through here, great, I can help you build a better AOV thing. I need you to answer these questions. You sit there, you answer all the questions, you get to the end of it and it goes, do step 1, step 2, step 3. And you're like, great, now I'm selling X stuff, right? And then you go, cool, what's my next problem? You go, well, I figured out I now have dead stock that I can't sell because I am selling so much of my best seller or whatever, right? So I'm in here again, I can sit here for days. There's 155 of these things. There's probably another 30 going in tomorrow. So you go, cool, here's how I liquidate dead stock. Click that. All right. Everyone see where I'm going with this? Basically, any question you probably ever have, right, it's solvable in here. If for some reason you have a question that is not answered in here, you come over here and you go, hey, Paul, can I request a GPT made on this particular topic? Like, how do I sell more black hats on the internet, Paul? Like, I just want to sell that. Or how do I do whatever, right? So where you get notified, we build it. Paul's brain in the box, pretty much. So all you guys need to do if you grab this is go here. Probably won't wait for you now because I'm already logged in. Go there, scroll. You'll see me using it. Click get access. Come over here. You can either try it $25 a week. You can pay $97 a month, or you get this and you get lifetime access. And you also get access to our beta testers channel where you get first access to the new GPTs that we're rolling out all the time as well. So you get them ahead of everybody else. So is that clear to everybody on the call? Miriam's got a credit card out. She's ready to rock and roll. She's purchased both things. I can see Colby's ready to rock and roll. So, and if you want to get into the eComm Circle community again, so same thing again, like come over here, go to the website. You don't need to apply or anything. You go here, you click join. All right.
I've left all the links there, Paul, as well.
Yeah. Pick whatever the one works for you. Pay for the year. Most people pay for the year, then they're committed, then they go, cool, I'm going to stuck with these good guys. Or they do this. You go, grab that, away you go. So, makes sense.
Cool.
Oops. Love it. All right, there we go. God. All right. Any other questions about anything?
Thank you, everybody. I think we're probably good.
All right. Cool. So keep an eye out for messages from myself and Chris and so forth. But appreciate you all hanging out with us today. Look forward to seeing all of you in the community tomorrow. That'd be wonderful. So if we can help with anything in the meantime, let us know. We're here and always ready to help you out. So
awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, God.
Right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thank
you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah.